If you blink, you'll miss it. And well, that would be a shame. Until very recently, this was just a dirt pothole of a road, one that wound around to an unassuming gravel parking lot. The shaded boardwalk entrance hardly hinted at the majestic vistas hidden just beyond the first few turns of the trail. Perhaps that's why this special place went so unnoticed by so many for so long. Hardcore locals will no doubt yearn for the days when this secret was best kept, before the proverbial pavement poured over paradise. But as an optimist whose glass is generally half full, I'd like to think that making our parks more inviting will introduce them to fresh young minds who become more determined than ever to protect these precious natural habitats. We love what we know, and we protect what we love. So inviting people to discover and use our parks is a critical step to ensuring their long-term preservation. Even so, Deer Lake is a relatively new state park. The initial acreage was acquired from the St. Joe Paper Company in 1996. A year later, the state of Florida took some land that was part of Grayton Beach State Park and added it to what is now designated as Deer Lake State Park. All told, the park now comprises over 2,000 incredible acres. The beach side of Deer Lake State Park, that part on the south side of Scenic Highway 30A, encompasses 139 acres, including most of Deer Lake itself. You'll find one of Deer Lake State Park's most famous features here on this southern side of the road, a stunning quarter-mile-long boardwalk that meanders just above an undisturbed and otherworldly landscape. Granted, this sandy stretch is not optimal for lugging tons of beach chairs, coolers, sand toys, and umbrellas from trunk to sand, but that's okay. Think of this as the beach boardwalk less traveled.
When I first arrive to open the park in the morning, I have to walk to the end of the boardwalk to open up our gate. I get first view of the Gulf and see what the weather's like. Sometimes we'll see dolphins out there. We'll look out and we'll just kind of have a good look. We'll see a school of redfish kind of swimming by. We can usually see a lot from the boardwalk.
When you do finally reach the beach, you'll witness glorious rolling white hills of sand, scrub brush, and plant and animal species that have been all but eradicated from neighboring shorelines. There's a half-mile of protected beach here, and if you're lucky, you can often enjoy the blue-green surf all to yourself. Maybe that's why this place was once known as the local nude beach. But these days, if you're into voyeurism, you'll need to stick to bird watching here. These dunes and trees are home to piping plovers, blue herons, reddish egrets, white ibis, and black skimmers, among others. You can also fish here with a proper permit, so bring your line or cast net if you like, but anytime hooks are involved, I certainly recommend clothing. While the boardwalk and the beach draw all the oohs and ahs, the bulk of this park, about 1,870 acres, is actually located on the north side of Scenic Highway 30A. Here you'll find 1.5 miles of hiking trails to traverse. The main trailhead connects to two shorter trails. The 1-mile-long Orange Trail winds through restored wet prairies and a pine leaf forest, while the Blue Trail takes visitors half a mile around the northern shore of Deer Lake. In 2013, several groups came together, including the Florida Park Service, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the Atlanta Botanical Garden. They began a project to restore more than 300 acres of wetlands here at the park. The project aims to create a proper ecosystem for plants that had previously been entirely lost or reduced to just a precious few. One of these plants is the pitcher plant, a native carnivorous tree that lures, traps, and eats insects and other small critters.
The pitcher plants are found on the north side of 30A. You won't be able to access it through the trail system because they are protected. It is one of the highest concentration of pitcher plants in North America.
In addition to this colorful carnivore, keep your eyes open for black bears, coyotes, orchids, wildflowers, butterflies, alligators, and of course, the namesake deer. Deer Lake State Park's modest admission fee is still paid through an honor box located right at the entrance. So at least that much hasn't changed. The park is open every single day of the year from 8 a.m. until sundown. Don't blink though, or you might just miss it.